Hey guys, Dominus here and welcome back to Thaumaturge. This will be the part 5 of the series and I hope you will enjoy it. If you do, please consider subscribing to the channel, I would really appreciate it. And let's get into it. So we are in the front of our family home in the northern Srodmestre, and let's get inside to check out what's waiting for us in there.
Miss, your guests have arrived. The lawyer's upstairs too, waiting. A trifle jittery. Wonder if the tea I made him was too strong.
Thank you, Grażyna dear. Let the guests wait. First I want to take care of the will.
I'll just wet my whistle and join you all upstairs.
Make sure Uncle makes it upstairs sober. And I'll suggest you don't dawdle either.
Okay, let's take care of that.
Master Victor, good God! Half your face covered, but I could tell right away it was you. You look just like your father in his youth. Completely his spitting image. Should I make you some cocoa, Master? It would warm you up a little.
Tell her to make cocoa for Lygia. Tell her not to trouble herself. Let's tell her to make the cocoa.
Make an extra creamy one for Lygia.
Oh, I won't skimp on her. Now, your sister's putting a brave face on all this, but she's really having a hard time. It's lovely to see you again. But that's enough jabber for now. I've got the guests and the cocoa, and I've got to whip up some food for you all later. We'll talk soon.
Garden, green square, okay. Let's check out the map first. How big is the apartment? We got a basement, can go up to the first floor, to the garden. But first let me assign the points. Adrenaline rush. Every enemy in the suffering state. So we have a spell. The skill additionally casts this state on a random enemy. So suffering. Let's go with this one. Kinda. Suffering state, each action to the style points. Okay, now let's upgrade the agony skill. And let's explore. Look, summer's about to end, then it's fall and winter again. Hope he doesn't drone on. Damn, I would like to hear the NPCs talking. That's our father. The portrait depicts father in his twilight years, the serious expression on his face, the proud posture and the grimoire in his hand combined with the dark background and lack of embellishments. It all reflects the strictness and pragmatism he always had. Good old Stanislav. However, a faint red streak can be seen around his figure. Apparently, artists are particularly sensitive to seeing things that usually escape the human eye. This one should receive double emolument for capturing the Thaumaturge aura. Who's this guy? Petia Voronin. Let's read this first. Here's the latest news on the rise that disrupted His Majesty Emperor Nikolai II's speech today. A moment after our gracious Emperor announced Georgi Scalan as the new Governor General of Warsaw, a group of troublemakers started yelling Most disgraceful slogans. Despite the reinforced security, there was a scuffle. The gendarmerie were quick to get the situation under control, however. A few people were injured, including 2 policemen who came to help. 30 people charged with public nuisance and brawling were taken into custody. Including us, right? Okay, let's talk to Petya.
I don't want to put my foot in my mouth again. I already failed to recognize someone once today, but you look familiar.
Well, I should think so. I was the victim of one of your starling hunts. Voronins must not be very memorable, cousin.
Petya, forgive me, and for shooting you as well. How are you doing?
Just some heart problems, not a subject for today. I'm sorry about Uncle Stanislav. Forgive me for not coming to the funeral. I can't bear cemeteries.
We'll have to meet up again.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Petya. My cousin Petya has changed a lot, perhaps we all have. He's no longer the skinny kid with scraped knees. We have never been close, despite being of a similar age, maybe because of our differing personalities. The good soul of Sulski household. When we were kids, she would patch our threadbare clothes and bandage our bruised elbows. She was closer to us than our own mother. It's nice to see her in good health. Okay. His sons have grown up. They are men now. Basement. Bust of Morana. The stern countenance resembles that of a human, but a callous gaze shows no trace of human emotions. The Queen of Winter scrutinizes you, sending a shiver down your spine. It makes me think of the words, if you gaze long enough into an abyss, the abyss will gaze back into you. So we have to go upstairs. I want to check out the basement first, maybe. Okay, so these are the recipe books. We don't have to read that. Rosina's liquor recipe. Okay, some recipe for a liquor by our housemaid.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I thought I'd have to drink alone.
So many goodies laid out for the guests. Having trouble picking something for yourself, Judge?
But this was Stashio's. It was special. Amber liqueur with quinces.
I think you mean quince liqueur with amber, right? If it's not here, I'm sure it's in the basement. But I won't grope around down there in the dark now. I've got my hands full.
Now, I don't want to trouble you either. Victor, could you track down a little bottle for your uncle?
I suppose I'm obligated to accept this mission.
Good lad. A nephew like you is a treasure.
Well, all the roads lead to the basement. Leonard of Oregon. A bottle of red wine from the United States, hard to get. An inability to articulate brought on by great surprise clings to the bottle. It was difficult to mouth even a word of gratitude for the unique gift. Words got stuck in the throat. Despite the adoration for this particular liquor, it is favorite beverage but an unwelcome gift. So the trace is Lydia's. This picture. Mother's portrait. Portrait of mother from her youth. She stands proud, wearing a white dress and a single scarf thrown over her exposed shoulders. Her long dark hair flows down her back, and she glances at the viewer with a piercing smile. Bare skin and a frivolous hairstyle. That's not how I remember her. Nadia, as a young, unkept maiden, It is hard to believe this shocking vision of the painter must have been created in a previous era, time when hearts were stirred with violent emotions, poems were created to the sound of a storm, love stories had to end tragically, etc., etc. Father actually commissioned such a painting. Yeah, I guess he allowed that. Sauvignon de Bordeaux. A bottle of white wine from southern France, an expensive beverage popular among the aristocracy. The wine carries the aroma of peaches, apples, and a certain amount of conviction that the relationship between two people is beginning to take on a romantic edge, a beverage enjoyed by the upper class given to a man by a woman. This familiar, mysterious woman. Mysterious woman, is that the woman we talked to at the train station when the brawl started? Queen's liquor with amber, a small bottle of Queen's liquor with amber, a beverage for true connoisseurs. The bottle exudes the sweet aroma of Queen's and the sincere joy of an upcoming meeting. It is a beverage that brings people together and sweetens the bitterness of everyday life, an element of a ritual that two old friends would eagerly indulge in. Okay, so that bottle for the Voronin. Every bottle found in the Zulki's cellar contains a creditable beverage. Uncle Voronin wouldn't disregard any of them. Okay, let's get a bottle back to him. I hope there will be no consequences for getting him drunk.
How did it go? Mission accomplished?
I mean, liquor, right?
I think this is the one Uncle wanted.
Yes. This is our little funeral battle. We would meet in Stasha's study after every funeral we went to, and raise a toast to the dead. And recently, we've been seeing one another more and more at such events. More and more. But this time, even he has left me. So, to an easy death, as Stasha and I used to say.
How did he die?
Hasn't Lygia told you?
I haven't even had the chance to ask.
Statue.
He didn't suffer, but such images in the memory are better saved for later. I'd prefer to remember him as he was alive.
Oh, so he's talking
What
about the
then?
father?
Am I drinking alone?
Propose your own toast.
May the ground be soft, Father. I'm not betting there's an afterlife.
Well, obligation fulfilled. Shall we get to the reading of the will?
Let's go about Chad. Who is that? Is that the guy that we talked in the cemetery?
At the funeral, there was this sad Jewish fellow, Mordechai Hayat.
Oh
Do
no,
you
that's
know
the
him?
priest.
He worked for Stanisław, but that was a long time ago. I don't know him more than that. So, shall we collect our inheritance?
Do you need another moment? Yeah, let's go. I think we explored everything we can.
Yeah, so let's find out what my father hasn't left me.
Let's begin if everyone is ready. Would you all please take a seat? Ladies and gentlemen, by the power of my office vested in me by the grace of His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of all Russia, I hereby testify. Mr. Shulski's last will and testament were prepared several years ago in the presence of Zaslav Fedorov, Esquire, that is, myself. My last will and testament recorded in the year of our Lord 1888. In the name of the Holy Trinity. Amen.
He wrote the lawyer in silence. Let's just go with the proud answer. We're a proud guy.
Excuse me, but could we get to the details?
Victor!
I think we all want to address more temporal matters, don't we?
In theory,
Would you be so kind?
Of course. Here we are. All movables and immovables relating to the family enterprise I entrust to the care and administration of my daughter. I do not prescribe a method of administering them. I merely offer her one piece of advice. To my brother-in-law and oldest friend, Alexander Voronin, I wish to leave the following. My collection of muskets and 2 revolvers dating to the uprising in memory of our first meeting.
Stasio, I will have plenty to do in my retirement.
Enjoy your retirement.
Ask if your mother is getting anything.
Now, Mr. Fedorov, what did my father leave my mother?
Victor, be serious.
Nothing. There is a special item reflecting the absolute lack of any bequest to my former spouse, Nadia Fyodorovna Voronina.
Wait for the end of the ceremony.
I would also like to come to the aid of my only son, Viktor Shulsky, by entrusting him with the use of my personal black grimoire, in the hope that he will be able to make good use of it. This is my last will and testament. Carry it out solemnly, though you may have found it burdensome. However, this last bequest poses a certain problem.
Gone.
Yes, it certainly does. And what is that, may I ask?
I am not in possession of this grimoire. The late Mr. Shulsky used it up until his death, yet no one left it with me after his passing.
Meaning it's disappeared? Did father have his grimoire on him at the time of his death?
It was only because of the grimoire that we could identify him at all.
What actually happened? How did he die?
A building collapsed on top of him. I don't know any other way of putting it.
Ask about your father's death.
A building? It collapsed on top of him? How? How did this happen?
It was a day like any other. Papa had gone for his habitual walk. Every Tuesday and Thursday, he'd take a stroll to get some space, as he put it. When he didn't come back for a long time, I got the bad feeling something had happened. Then...
we rode there together. An entire wall of a tenement had collapsed. There were 3 victims, including Stasio, who had the bad luck to simply be walking by. To see him there in that condition, it's beyond description.
Ask about the missing grimoire.
The grimoire. Could someone have taken it?
Perhaps, in all that confusion.
But why would anyone want Papa's grimoire? An ordinary person won't use it. Would the Thaumaturge just happen to be passing by?
Father had all his knowledge in there, but I don't know if it would be useful to someone other than him. I don't even know why he left it to me.
I'm sure Stasio had a reason.
Down where this happened.
Where did it happen? Where was this building?
The southern part of Śródmieście, not far from the police station. Anyway, you can miss it.
Of all the possibilities, this was the death that fate prepared for him.
Emphasize that karma comes back.
He died as he lived, miserably. He couldn't have met a more fitting end after what he did to me. What he did to the Niedzic's family.
You've got to know that Papa felt guilty, even if he didn't say so outright. I'm not going to defend him, but I can't criticize him either. Even I don't know what really happened back then with Aborice.
An accident is what happened, and Father treated two kids like the worst disgraces in the world. As if it had been premeditated.
When a person dies so suddenly, their unfinished business remains. We'll never learn what Stasio carried in his heart.
What do you intend to do?
You look through Father's things.
And where are Father's things at the moment?
You're standing at the very center of his kingdom. Not everything has been sorted through yet, but you go right ahead.
And the store? I should check that too.
I've started stock-taking there to distract myself, and I don't want you to go in there before I've finished.
As you wish.
Ask about Mordecai Chayat.
And Mordechai Chayat. Could that be a lead?
I don't think so. He worked with Father, but he left more than a year ago. I don't know why. He was an assistant at our, well, my store.
Do you know where I might find him?
Sad.
Do you?
Admit the building is a good lead. Sorry, I skipped ahead.
I think we have to look for the answer in the place where it happened.
With your sight, you can make out more in those ruins than I, or Uncle, or Detective could. This is a good lead, but is it the only one?
Ask about Ivan Konechkin.
Father evidently knew a certain Ivan Konechkin. Have you heard anything about him?
Konechkin? No, doesn't ring a bell.
All sorts of people came to Papa's store. That doesn't mean every one of them might know something about the grimoire.
That's true. You've got your work cut out for you.
Say you already know everything.
Now at least I can see how little I know. Maybe these scraps of information will lead me somewhere.
Well, now that we know what's got to be figured out, forgive me, my darlings. I'm going to give my old bones a rest.
I'll see you out.
Goodbye, Uncle. And, Ligia. I'm sorry it happened this way. That I wasn't close by.
The most important thing is you're here now.
Let me check the flaw. Increases, so this increases the hard dimensions force by 1. What's the dimension force? What does it do actually, the force? I mean, does it increase damage? Okay. Let's... Oh, we are upstairs now. Let's talk to find out more about their father's dying moments. Later, the human heart is worth more than all the riches of the material world tonight. Interesting, Ligia may know more about the mysterious SR. Letter addressed to father and signed with initials SR. The message only appears to be brief. In fact, the pen strokes were accompanied by an accelerated heartbeat, motivated by a restrained fondness for the addressee. The ink is dripping with special care and warmth that have seeped deep into the paper. Okay, let me explore. Before we talk to the peer. Charred letter, my love for you is burning. It keeps me from eating. It keeps me from sleeping. It keeps me from living. Lygia, I am begging you to end my agony. Agree to be my... Okay, so... I think Lydia is hiding something. So this is her room. My letter from Paris, November 1896. Sister of mine, I feel well enough to write something to you. The doctors also recommended I do so. I am not alone in my anguish. I share a room with one Reeford Morton, whose last name escapes me. They brought him from London, from Dr. Seward's clinic. A very interesting case. He spends his day hunting for the moths, cockroaches, ladybugs, and beetles that come here sometimes. He eats them. He says it gives him strength to wait for the coming of the Lord. But I don't think he means the Savior. I cannot yet construct all the details after the debacle with Payman. My mind is still in tatters. Payman visited me no more than a week ago. I know that's impossible. It probably happened only in my mind, but it was clear. He, as the king of hell with his host of demons, with the shadows of his penitents, called for me to join them. It was so real. I'll stop here. I'm having a hard time gathering my thoughts. So this is the letter we wrote. The Polish Gazette, evening edition. At the cemetery in Montmorency on Sunday, the body of the distinguished writer and citizen, the late Severina Duchinska, was laid to rest. A handful of compatriots escorted the coffin amidst the pouring rain. The funeral service was very modest. In accordance with the wishes of the deceased, the sums allocated for wreaths were deposited in the coffers of the Klaudia Potocka Charitable Society. The late Antoni Pchelinski retired. The company arranges funerals, exhumations. Okay, so this is the ad for the funeral company in the paper. Message from mother. Dear child, stop. It is with great sorrow that I have received the news of Stanislav's death. Stop. Unfortunately, I will not be able to attend the funeral ceremony. Stop. My duties in Paris keep me from traveling to Warsaw at this time. Stop. I join you both in mourning and sorrow. Stop, Mama. A letter from Rome, July 1896. Dear sister, I am writing to you because sleep eludes me. As I wrote before, I have found a suitable candidate. However, I am still struggling to reach his flaw. I feel that Payman is within my reach. I even saw him vaguely, but I did. I'll stop here because my nerves prevent me from continuing. Victor. P.S. Yes, I will be careful. Don't think me a fool like father. Okay, so we were in Paris looking for another salutor, I guess. Called Payman, maybe. Serious photo. Straight back. Straight back, stern expressions, noses in the air, two boys that are just trying to meet everyone's expectations. Something went wrong here. Get changed. Wardrobe. Oh, if you want to change your clothes, use the wardrobe. You can expand your clothes collection by visiting the tailor. I didn't expect that. Nice. Okay, we got two vests. Go. Yeah, let's change. Okay. Anything here? Pseudo-monarchia demonum. Compared to Crowley's Argosha, there are 3 fewer demons. No evidence that all demons are salutors. Bathim, false lead. Puzzle, false lead. Anton claims that they have subjugated Orobas, boasting. Marchiosus, expected to take on the form of a wolf with the wings of a griffin and the tail of a snake. According to Deplancy, he takes the form of a wild lioness. Interesting observation by Crowley. Demons are unexplored fragments of our minds. However, in appearance it resembles an ox with wings, a lead for Sabinok. Okay, let's go upstairs. Collection of books on the occult. The titles include Pseudo-monarchia demonum, Lemegentum, and Picartrix. The grimoires of historical occultists brim with paternal inquisitiveness. The worn pages full of annotations in the margins bear the marks of frequent reading. His heart beating with excitement, Father explored the mysteries of demonology, thus expanding his horizons. Stanislaw Last Will. Okay, we heard about that from the lawyer. Book of Ancient Culture, book in a hard leather, binding with many bookmarks. Father would pore over the yellowed pages again and again, reading the same words over and over, trying to extract meaning from them. He repeated the words about dedication and the necessity of sacrifice like a mantra, slamming shut one volume and searching for another. What does it all mean? A suitcase, a leather suitcase bearing traces of many travels. Grains of desert sands from Father's trip to Africa had settled on the suitcase. He would set it aside, spinning plans for future voyages into the unknown regions of the material world, searching for what was hidden behind the veil of reality. Ritual mask. A wooden mask representing a salutor known as Shural. The demonic countenance is closed in the hope that clung it to first and the satisfaction that soon followed. It seemed that Father had plans for Shural, which he eventually managed to fulfill. Father's thoughts were recently occupied with a search for knowledge that bordered on the obsessive. This is related to something much more than his usual curiosity about the world which I remember him for. He was looking for something, hunting for salutors, exploring the mysteries of everything related to Thaumaturge. The only thing I still don't know is where it led him. Okay. This painting. Shulsky family portrait. Our family portrait, I can remember when it was taken. The year was 1884 and Lygia and I were 9 years old at the time. She was clearly tense, and I remember how Mother admonished her not to smile, not to fidget, and to stand straight. Lygia was to take the cue from her. Mother was able to freeze like a statue and sit there barely breathing for a couple of hours. I, on the other hand, posing nonchalantly, was always more unrestrained than my sister. I could get away with more. Behind us, our father, the head of the family. One hand resting patronizingly on the back of the chaise lounge, asserting his ownership. the other holding a grimoire, the black grimoire behind Father a shadow, as if a shape was emerging and forming, indicating another present. That's Balberith, the family is complete. With my father's first salutor, probably not the only one, a perfect match. An ancient idol mentioned in the Book of Judges, secretive by nature, keeper of vegetation and master of insects, that they can command in order to protect people from diseases. According to us, Jotia, Balberith belongs to the circle of greater demons, just like Father. The flaws that attract him are much like with the Upir, those related to the heart dimension and the sensation of the heart. Pride, blasphemy, contentiousness, but also consistency, stubbornness and ambition. Balberith is gone. He left with my father, where we do not know what happens to Salutor after a Thaumaturge's death. Perhaps they become wild again, unhindered by the pact with their master, but the flow that used to tether them is gone, so maybe they vanish into the void too. Okay, let's talk to the peer.
How do you find our old stomping ground? Yes, I'm not too fond of this place either. This is where I had my last conversation with my father, just before I left. If you can call it a conversation. Can you see my dreams? Nightmares, actually. Ever since I decided to come back, I keep reliving the same memory. The loan shark incident. I've been seeing his death more and more lately. I wonder if his shop is still there. Perhaps we should go there and check.
Okay. Limited quest. Book showing memory. Ability if this quest is limited. So let's go for that. Can we... Yeah, let's go downstairs. Ghost of Siren. Answer the telephone. Let's talk to her first.
Have you found anything yet about the grimoire? Is there any way I can help?
Ask her about the company.
What's next for you? You're in charge here now. Have you got some kind of grand scheme?
A grand scheme? Oh, for now, I'm just trying to keep my head above water. Certain customers are unconvinced that a woman can handle running a business. What's worse, a woman without powers. You know what I mean. A thaumaturge at my side would shut them all up. After all, it's your heritage too.
I mean, I kinda want to help her, so let's go with this. Assure her that she can count on you.
I don't know anything about running a company, but if I can help in any way, you can count on me.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. I trust the smoke doesn't bother you.
No, they're unusual attire.
The trousers are an original style. Until now, I'd only seen women in trousers in the East.
First of all, they're practical. It's the 20th century. It's high time we started dressing comfortably.
Admit that she's brave.
You've always been brave, never afraid of anything or anybody. Like when Mother almost had a fit because you dumped my best tie in hot cocoa.
I didn't care that she was angry. I wanted to get you back for not wanting to play with me.
Because you were being too annoying.
You meant to say brave. By the way, Grażyna still makes cocoa every evening. You can conjure up the flavor of childhood if you want. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Ask about the woman's trace you found in the study. Let's comment on her smoking first.
You used to detest the smell of tobacco. You'd hold your breath going into Father's study.
That's true, but when I'd stay here, alone with Papa, and somehow over the years I got used to it. I don't know when I started copying him even.
Daddy's girl. You were always closer to him.
That's not true. I was just less rebellious than you, his Thaumaturge son. Now come on, what else is on your mind?
Ask about the woman's trace you found in the study.
In Father's study, I found a trace of a woman that I couldn't identify.
Probably Svetlana Rumiantseva.
Ask about Rumiantseva.
Who is she? And what does Father have to do with her?
Svetlana is a Russian aristocrat who travels with the Romanovs' court. I can only tell you she was a customer of Father's.
A customer? If you don't want to say, then don't. Where can I find her?
When she's in town, she stays at the Imperial Hotel.
She might know something that will help me find the grimoire.
Not so fast. To get in, you're going to need me and my connections. Svetlana is famous for her soirees where she hosts the creme de la creme of Warsaw.
Ask what a soiree is.
What's a soiree?
How long did you say you lived with Mother in Paris? Just a party, if you like. Do you know what that is?
Very funny.
We could go together. How about you track down some evening clothes and I'll sort out the invitation. And I won't take no for an answer.
Sadly, you never give me a chance. Unfortunately, everything in my wardrobe is antediluvian. I need a tailor.
There's a shop at 11 Pruzhna Street that's fairly decent and quick. We also have barbers in Warsaw in case you want to do something about whatever you have growing on your head and face.
Reptilian Bash. Visit the powerful loan shark old place. I want to do that first since it's a limited quest. Have some liquor. Liquor is not alcohol, it is more of a tincture. In fact, it's a medicine, and since life is the most common fatal disease, we'll to our health then. Let's talk to the housemaid.
Master Victor, let me guess. Have you come for some hot cocoa?
Ask for a cup of cocoa.
Yes, a cup of cocoa would do me good.
Help yourself. The pot is in the salon, along with some of your favorite cookies. It's been an age since we've seen one another. I'm glad you're back. Mistress Ligia is really struggling with everything.
Ask about your father's death.
And so, the great Stanisław Szulski is dead, crashed by a building. Can't say I'd wish a death like that on anybody.
An awful death. Sheer cruelty. Mr. Szulski didn't deserve it. Now all we can do is think back on what a wonderful man he was.
That won't take long.
Get Grażyna to talk about Stanisław's death.
So, this death, what do you make of it, Grażynka?
I'll tell you in confidence, Master Szulski. Now, I'm a simple woman, but something about your father's death doesn't sit right with me.
How do you mean, Grażynka?
Don't you suspect some impure powers had a hand in it?
Do you mean it could have something to do with thaumaturgy?
That I don't know. Look at us jabbering while there are potatoes not peeled. Forgive me, Master.
Ask about Lygia.
Ligia won't open up to me, but how is she doing?
She's having a rough time, the poor dear. Her heart is heavy, though she doesn't show it. But she's strong. She keeps her chin up and doesn't give in. And it's good she's got you to help now, Master. Only she started smoking like a chimney. She takes after her father, no question about it.
Another time, Grażynka. I'll get out of your way.
Always ample work, but I can always snatch a moment for a chit-chat with you, Master.
Bring hot chocolate. Do you know the secret to time travel? It requires but one sip of cocoa. All of a sudden, Lygia is reading a book in front of the fireplace and I'm stacking building blocks. My parents are arguing in a smoking room, it's a warm day, and then everything goes to hell.
Where's Grażyna when I need her?
Let's answer the phone. Let's see.
Hello?
I talk here? Do you hear me now? Victor? Victor, are you there?
Grigori? Yes.
Victor, where are you?
On the other end of the line, at home, where the telephone rang.
Incredible.
Ask why he's calling.
Has something happened?
To me? No. I am telecommunicating with you to say I found lodgings here in Warsaw. If you need me, I'm by the cemetery. What number is it? Yes. 7 Powaskowska Street. Number 7 by cemetery. Powaskowska.
I'm glad. It's good to hear your voice.
It's good to hear you as well. Goodbye. I want to end now. What do I... like this? Wonderful device. Remarkable. Hello? Oh, and now?
Funny guy Rasputin. Okay, let's go to the... let's do the side quest. Gives a 60% chance of slowing the enemy actions. I don't know how should I upgrade this if I should just follow one path. Increases inflicted damage by 50. To increase damage from the salutors next attack by 50%. Bloody. got 1 point left. We'll deal with that later. Oh, we can go to the garden as well.
Are you lost?
Fuck. Don't try to be a hero, and it'll be all right.
Burglars.
You're outnumbered.
Point out that they don't have to.
Quantity doesn't always translate to quality.
Call the rest. We got one with a death wish.
It's like with 2 beer. Let's go with penance. They will do bleed next round. So after that we want to do plan. Why only 2 to 3 damage? This one. Oh, because the trade was active, so he gotta resist. We need to remove this. I want to heal on that guy. This is inflicted damage. Yeah, let's try. We didn't try it yet. Let's go with quick attack and just finish him. It doesn't matter. Oh shit, the reinforcements are on the way. I mean, he's dead, right? Oh shit. Back with Bukovac. Right like that. Restores 4 real health points for every enemy in the suffering state. Lower the enemy's health points, faster skill speed. Oh, this guy is dead, right? He's dead. That should be enough.
Get off my lawn!
Victor? I heard a noise. Are you alright?
I'm fine. We've had a few unwelcome visitors.
Burglars? What's wrong with this town? I'll call Uncle.
There's no rush. I don't think they'll try to rob anyone anytime soon.
Okay guys, I'm gonna end the part 5 right here. I think that's a good way to end it, and we're gonna visit the Low Shark Vault's place in the next part. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Peace.